Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the UKG podcast. I'm happy to be here. As usual, my name is Simon, aka Simoninski, and we have a lot to discuss today. Paul Scholes versus Carrick, a couple of United targets being talked about. As usual, lots of players are usually linked with United. And we are just going to have a chat. I usually like to have a section at the end of the show where we just have a chat, catch up, ask questions, debate a bit. And yesterday we took a bit of a break. Considering we had a very, very long, very long, big debate. Yesterday I was feeling a bit tired. We had 3 hours of the big debate with the gents, with the big boys, with KC Reacts, United Talks podcast, Kimi, as well as Fred. And we'll be doing more of that. So, in case you haven't watched that debate, it was very interesting. It was a very, very good debate. We discussed a lot. We argued. We argued a lot. We agreed on some things. We unraveled a lot of things, as well as demystified a couple of rumors making rounds. So, yeah, please make sure you get the time. You can even put it as you can have it on. You're listening to it as you're doing your work. It was a very, very good debate. So today we are going to discuss about Paul Scholes. What is happening with Paul Scholes? It seems the United fan base, the United ex-players, are having a lot of thoughts about Paul Scholes. He said something about Michael Carrick, and it has taken center stage. And everyone seems to be still talking about it. He has done his podcast. He came out during his podcast to clarify what he meant with that comment, with that post he did on Instagram, as well as other people talking about it. For example, Evra has spoken about it. He had his views, as well as other ex-players have come out and gave their views about what Scholes said about Carrick. And Scholes has been quite vocal recently when it comes to matters Manchester United. And as an ex-player as well as a Manchester United fan, he has a say as much as we do. He can air out his views. The only difference is that if I do it, if you do it, it won't be as influential as when Carrick does it. That's a fact. Carrick is, as Paul Scholes does it. Why do I keep referring to Carrick? So when Paul Scholes speaks, he's in a position of influence. Guys will listen to him. Guys will take his words with a lot of weight compared to when myself or even the biggest Manchester United fan channel or account speaks. It will be taken with more weight. Because Scholes is an ex-player. Scholes has won titles with United. Scholes is a legend at the club, more or less like any other player. For example, when Evra came out to speak about it, people will listen. People will analyze the words. If we do it, most probably a lot of guys will just rubbish it. Say, you're just looking for the blue tick money, or you're just looking for YouTube subscriptions and that. No. It's very, very different. So today we are going to talk about it, the reactions, what you guys think about it. We highlighted it at length during the UKG big debate. But with the recent developments, with the recent reactions, with Scholes coming out to give a response, then it's worth having a look at it. As well as transfer news, we have a couple of players that are being scouted tonight and this week. We're going to have a look at that. We know United want to be active in the transfer window. So get involved in the comment section below as we go along. Also, feel free to ask a question. I'll do my best to answer. I always like interacting with you guys, with the fans, with the UKG family. It's always good to have you on board. So, Scholes has come out to respond to what he said. I want to share the screen just to show what Paul Scholes said. So Scholes has explained his Instagram posts or story about Michael Carrick. And this is what he said during his podcast. They usually have a podcast with Nicky Butt, and it's called The Good, the Bad, and the Football. I think they always do it on Mondays, if I'm not wrong, or it comes out on Mondays. Paul Scholes said it was in no way intended to be offensive towards Michael, that is Michael Carrick. He'd be the last person I want to offend. I messaged Michael anyway. He told me himself he wasn't upset by it. But a lot of United fans are upset by it. A lot of ex-players are offended by it. Big up Exit 16 on TikTok. Hello UKG. Big up to you as well, Exit 16. So that's what Paul Scholes said, that he did not mean to offend Carrick. He got in touch with him, and Carrick responded and said he's not upset by it. But as United fans, we are offended by it. We are upset. And that's a fact. It's been a huge debate. It's a huge debate. I'm seeing Hamed, big up. Hamed is saying Anderson is a matter of here we go. He prefers Man City. Ooh, let me check Twitter to see whether it's something that's being discussed, because I haven't seen such reports. Let me see. Elliot Anderson. Let me digress a bit from the discussion and have a look at this Elliot Anderson report. As we also wait for the UKG members to join as well as new fans. Funny enough, I've just searched Elliot Anderson on Twitter and it's bringing the US war. That's quite funny. Let me just do another search. To City. Probably that will be more refined. Let me see. Well, let me see the latest. What they say. Yeah, so the indication is that Elliot Anderson, this is from a Man City account, says the indication is that Elliot Anderson to Man City is now a done deal pending official confirmation. The Man City, the midfielder knows he'll play at the Etihad next season. Whoa, that's major news. And how come it has not been such a big deal? Because most of the posters are from yesterday, and I haven't seen a lot of discussion on it on X. Anyway, I haven't spent a lot of time on X today. It's been a busy day at the office. So yeah, we will discuss about that when we come to the transfer section bit. But thanks a lot, Hamed, for that update. I think I missed it. I haven't been on X quite much today. It's been a busy day at the office, but we'll discuss about it. It's expected, of course. Right now, City are more attractive than United. It's expected. But anyway, we'll highlight. We'll see probably the other options. It's not yet confirmed, but who knows? Probably United still have a chance. Yeah. So Scholes, as I mentioned, Scholes has come out. Let me share this again. Scholes has come out to explain his words. He said, it was in no way intended to be offensive towards Michael. He'd be the last person I want to offend. I messaged Michael anyway. He told me himself he wasn't upset by it. And I mentioned that a lot of United fans are offended. I was offended by it. And during the UKG debate, I said, right now, United is more a war zone. There is a war zone among the United fan base. Everything about the club right now, it's becoming an argument. It's like even if you go to your personal account online on your social media account, you make a comment about something, it's more or less becomes an argument. Guys have been so depressed for long, A lot of United fans have not had a good time, and there are those that are dealing with trauma of not being good. There are those that are hyper because United are finally winning back-to-back games and in top three. And there are those that are forward thinking. For example, they will look at a performance, they say, yes, we've won, but I'm still scared about the future. We've sorted it out now. At least United might get the Champions League. There is a huge chance United will get the Champions League next season. But we still have to think about the future. Myself, I'm worried about the transfer window. I'm worried about the next manager. Who will be the next manager? We don't know yet. So looking at this Paul Scholes debate, there are those that are saying, yes, the performances have not been good. It's true. Among them is Rio Ferdinand. Rio Ferdinand has come out to say the same thing. Some United fans are saying. So Rio Ferdinand on Paul Scholes' Instagram post about Michael Carrick said, I actually texted him like, what's going on? He was like, Scholesy is Scholesy. Scholesy doesn't mix his words. You know what I said? I told him, listen, I said he's special. He's got something special, but we haven't been great in the last 4 games. You know what? He actually isn't wrong. Now this is Ferdinand. The first part is the conversation between the way I understood it. The first statement, I actually texted him like, what's going on? He was like, Scholesy is Scholesy. He doesn't mix his words. So I assume, I haven't watched the podcast, but the assumption is that was his communication with Carrick. Then the second bit is, you know what I said? I told him, listen, he's special. For probably still the same conversation with Carrick. I need to go and watch it. Sorry guys, I didn't watch it. I admit, my bad. He's got something special, but we haven't been great in the last 4 games. So that's Ferdinand's assessment, along with a lot of United fans. Some United fans are saying the same thing. The last 4 games have not been great. And then Ferdinand goes on and say, and you know what? He actually isn't wrong. The performances in the last 4 games haven't been at the level you want. I wouldn't say rubbish, but it hasn't been where you're aiming to be. Listen, there's no beef between them. They are 2 proper guys, and both have the utmost respect for each other. I think it was just interpreted differently the way Paul Scholes meant it to come across. So that was Rio Ferdinand's view on the matter, along with a lot of United fans. Sorry. And I'm developing a cold, so I have to get some hot water. Sorry. I have to get some hot water. So a lot of United fans are in agreement with Scholes, and a lot of United fans as well are not in agreement. As I said, it's a matter of perspective. There are fans that will look at the performance and say it isn't good. Yes, it's a win. Yes, it's a draw. And the loss is probably the poor performance is catching up. And there are United fans that are saying it's only 1 loss. It's only 1 loss in 8 games. There shouldn't be much into it. There shouldn't be panic. Both of them are right, in my view. Both of them are right. Because if we put ego aside, we put emotions, feelings aside, and look at it logically, the performances haven't been so great. United were overrun by a 10-man Newcastle. United struggled versus Everton despite the win. United struggled versus West Ham. It was a draw. United had to come back, score a late equalizer. So the performances have not been so good, but the results are different. it's contrast to what we experienced from the previous manager. On Sunday, we were told not to mention the name. It's triggering a lot of fans. So when you look at that situation, the contrast between the previous manager and the current manager, the previous manager, the performances were better, but the results were not there. And in turn, it was translated that the performances are not good. In what way? The intensity was higher, the XGs were higher, the pressing was better. We can go through all the stats. If you look at Carrick, the first two games, three games, especially the City and Arsenal game, the intensity was there. The XG was there. Everything was working well. But when you look at the performances from the Fulham game, they've been going down. The intensity has been going down. United, the midfield has been overrun. You look at, of course, the chance creation has increased if you compare to Amorim and Carrick. But overall, the performances have been declining. Now, Scholes pointing that out, it's more or less the same thing other fans are pointing out. But at the same time, he has to understand that he has influence. He's in a position of influence. When he says something, a lot of guys will pick up on it. On the UKG debate, I was of the view that we should ignore it. The media, social media accounts, we should just keep ignoring it because that's how these guys are getting a platform. But it's difficult because Manchester United news sells. So if the media sees something like that, they will run with it. So Scholes has said something that some fans feel it's true, other fans feel it's not. And I want to ask you guys what you think about that. Is Scholes right? Or is there something bigger happening? Is there something happening behind the scenes that you don't understand? Because this is not the first time Paul Scholes has come out to criticize Carrick and to criticize Manchester United and the players. You remember previously, a few weeks ago, he had a spat online with Martinez. He had issues when he spoke about Martinez. Guys were not happy about it. So by him saying those things he said about Carrick, is it a spillover of the frustration from his previous comments about Martinez? Is it not being isolated? Like, because he spoke ill about Martinez and Martinez went on to perform well, now he says something that might be correct about Carrick and the United performance, that there is a spillover of that emotion about Martinez, what he said about Martinez. Might that be the case? Should United treat it as an isolated case, the United fans that is, should they treat it as an isolated case, or should it be related to the previous comments he's made? Because Scholes has made a lot of comments. Scholes has made a lot of comments that United fans are not happy about. You look at Ferdinand there, what he said. I looked at those comments and I started thinking about the relationship between Scholes and Carrick. They played together for years. They've won trophies together in that midfield. They have a better relationship than United fans have a relationship with them. They understand each other. Of course, there are times where they will disagree. We were not there to witness it, but I believe there are times where they will disagree. There are times where they would have fun together. They would laugh. So these are guys who know each other more. They are buddies. They've played together. They won trophies together. They've suffered together. They've celebrated together. So when Scholes comes out to criticize Carrick, was he doing it as part of the relationship he has always had? That has been the question I've been asking myself for quite some time when I saw those reports. That quote from Rio Ferdinand. Because to us, we only knew them as players. But to them, they were spending time together in the gym, in tours, on the bus, on the train, on the airplane, going out for games. losing together, winning together, drawing together. They've played years with each other. Or is there an underlying factor in the UKG debate? I said sometimes jealousy takes over. Scholes failed as a manager at Oldham. He did not have a good time. He failed. Are they probably looking at Carrick, who's had a relatively good time at Middlesbrough, good time at United first interim role, and right now, second time, other than that one defeat, he's had a good performance. So, to me, I think both are right. Both parties are right. The United fans, the other ex-players coming to say, no, you need to stop because you are in a position of influence and you are affecting the team. And also Scholes is right by saying the performances have declined because they have. The results are there, but the performances are declining. Because one thing I said is there'll come a point where teams will now have a lot of scouting data on Carrick. They'll understand his formation, his patterns, his set plays, and they will start having an answer, a solution, a tactical solution for everything Carrick tries to do. The other thing is it's a change of formation. Players need to get used to that formation. They prefer it. They are playing in their favorite position. They need to still get used to what Carrick demands of them. Third point is United have not had a great time. And when finally they are starting to perform well, there is this external pressure coming in. It affects mentality. So what happens to the players when they start seeing Scholes fighting their current head coach? It will affect them. It might affect them. So the United ex-players need to be careful what they come out and say. Because right now the team needs unity. From the fan base, from the ex-players, within themselves, they need to have unity. The good vibes can't continue as long as there are positive vibes coming from external factors. For example, ex-players supporting the club. Rarely do we see ex-players of other clubs rubbishing their current manager. They try as much as possible to be reserved in their criticism or provide support. For example, Jamie Carragher, even when Liverpool were having a bad run, he was still measured. He wasn't blubbering about or being too negative about the issue. No. He was actually even trying to provide solutions in his analysis. But when it comes to United, you look at the likes of Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville. At least Gary Neville tries to provide some solutions. But the other ones, it's always negative. And you look at the other players, ex-players, that is, who are silent. For example, Beckham rarely speaks about United. Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt were part of the class of 92. The other guys, the other class of 92, most of them are usually silent. They're usually silent. They don't speak a lot about the club. And if they do, it's usually like positive criticism, constructive criticism, not positive criticism, constructive criticism. So yes, the performances have declined, but you have access to Carrick, Paul Scholes. You have access to him. You can text him. Tell him, hey, the performances are not great. Is there anything I can do to help? You know? Instead of going to Instagram and posting such a thing, to me, that's attention seeking, unless Paul Scholes is suffering from something like a mental health issue, depression or something, because to me, that's attention seeking. You have access to Carrick. You're not someone who hasn't spoken with him or been with him in separate rooms. No, you are playing with Carrick. You won titles with him. You lost matches with him. You drew matches with him. When Sir Alex Ferguson was angry about the performance, you are with him. So you have access. They have a WhatsApp group. He has his contact. He says he texted him. Do it offline. You don't have to come online and post such things. You're just looking at getting fans angry, you know. So Paul Scholes, if you get a chance to watch this, please don't do that next time. If you have access to the players, I don't think Paul Scholes has been banned from Carrington or has been banned from Old Trafford. If you see, for example, Licha Martinez is not performing well, don't go to a podcast and talk about it. Go to him direct. You are an ex-player. You have influence. Paul Scholes, you are in a position of influence. Instead of going online and rubbishing, going online and bashing like the rest of the fans, go to them. In fact, all ex-players should just go to the players. Just go to Carrick direct. Even the next manager, when he comes on, if you see something wrong, go to him. I don't think United will deny them a chance to even try coaching some of the players. No. Babatov has been working with Sheshko. And he came out and gave a good review about Sheshko. We haven't seen Babatov go online and say that Sheshko is rubbish. Sheshko is not a United player. How many times have we seen ex-players go to the media and say so and so are not United players, so and so are not United managers? Go help them become one. It's your club. Want the club? If you want the club to succeed, help the man to make the club successful. I can only imagine when Sir Alex Ferguson was struggling, then the ex-players come out to say he's not a United manager. Every other manager, every other head coach that has been here has struggled without any help. The ex-players understand the United DNA. Go to them, tell them, for example, if it's Amorim, go to Amorim and tell him, we know you are rigid in your system, but please try to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the United way. But going online to post videos, podcasts, post Instagram stories, to bash a current player, a current manager, at the same time you're claiming to be a supporter of the club, it doesn't make sense. It's beneath you. It's beneath the ex-players. It's beneath them. Let us fans, the so-called clueless fans, let us rubbish them. It's our opinion. That's the place for fans to argue and bicker about such kind of things. But as an ex-player, you have access to the club. You are not banned from the training ground. You are not banned from the stadium. Call them 5 minutes after the game, before they leave. Tell them, hey, there are a couple of things here and there you could have improved. Call them, call the head coach, call him for a drink, call him for dinner, call him to your house. Then tell Carrick, Scholes, call Carrick to your house or go to his house or call him out for a drink, a pub or something, dinner. Then tell him, hey, look, the performances have not been good. In my view, there are a couple of things you can do, or is there something we can do to help you? You are in a WhatsApp group, chat in that group, and then keep it there. Because right now, the United space, it's very, very, very toxic. It's very, very, very toxic. Because when you bring such kind of a debate, you know that it will be divisive. The fans right now are divided. HD, lazy up, big up, big up. You're saying they do it for attention. Exactly. And that's what's making me frustrated with the ex-players. Attention, they can get attention whenever they want. For example, instead of criticizing Carrick online, go to him and then come back to us and say, actually, I had a chat with Carrick. We are having a chat. We are helping him. We want him to succeed. He will still get the attention he's seeking. Babatov got the attention. Mo, big up, Mo. How is it going? Hope everything is fine. Yeah, everything is okay. just a bit jaded. Had a really, really tough day at the office. Also, very sleepy. The big debate was long, and last night I slept late. I couldn't make to even be online because of work related issues, but I'm glad to be back. So, yeah, HD, lazy up. I agree with you. They do it for attention, but there is a way to seek attention the right way. There is always a way to seek attention the right way. Babatov has been working with Sheshko. When Sheshko started having an upturn in performance, the reports started coming out. In fact, Babatov said nothing about it. Say nothing about it. It's other guys who started saying Babatov is working with Sheshko. And then guys ran with it. You know? So Carrick has access to Scholes has access to Carrick. So Scholes go to Carrick, tell him, hey mate, you're my buddy. We've struggled together. We've won titles together. I want to help you. The performances have not been great. In fact, let me speak to the players. He goes, calls for a meeting. They have a very good lounge at Carrington, speaks to the players, or takes Ugarte, Kobe, Casemiro, Bruno. He takes all the midfielders and gives them a pep talk. He tells them, no, you guys, you need to perform better. And then when he comes to the podcast, if he says, yeah, actually last week I was at Carrington, I had a good chat with the players and they are doing well, I believe something good will happen. He'll still get the same attention, but taking advantage of the toxicity, he's not different from the fan channels that have been using toxicity, bad energy, bad attitude to get followers. I could do that. I could have done that long time ago. And right now, we wouldn't be at 762 subscribers. Probably I'd be at 10K. Probably this stream would have had 30 or 300 people watching because of negativity. I won't do that because I love the club. I love United. So if Paul Scholes claims that he loves United, then do it behind closed doors. Criticize behind closed doors. Don't air dirty linen in public. It's not a good show. It's not a good show, honestly. It's not. Mo, you are saying, or is it because of the chant? It's Carrick, had to believe it's not Scholes. Probably, but you might find out probably Scholes is going through something. If it's not attention seeking, probably he's going through something and he needs help. Because Ferdinand says Scholes is Scholes. The response is Scholes. He does not mix words, but someone of his caliber, of his stature, of his age, we expect him to be a bit wiser. If that happened from a 20-year-old, 18-year-old ex-player, I would understand. But come on, in Kenya, you guys in Kenya, you know what we keep saying. Pali pana wazee hapaharibiki jambo. Where they are old men, nothing goes wrong. So he has access to Carrick. He has access to the players. He hasn't been banned from the stadium. He can go there, watch the game for free. He can go to Carrington. In fact, they can give him free food. Just have a chat with them. Just have a chat with them. More you add on and say, but it's part of the mainstream media job. I think they do it for views. Because Colsey was a quiet guy according to his teammates. Yes, he was a quiet guy. He had, in fact, even when Scholes was playing at United and after he left, he didn't have scandals. He didn't have scandals. Then all of a sudden it's happening. Even if it's chasing the dollar, the pound, it's not the right way to do it. It's not the right way to do it. It's not. Even if it's mainstream media, no. Because one thing I keep asking fans, I keep asking myself as well is, What happens when United start winning again? Will they now change and say, oh, the last 4 games, the performances have been great? No, they won't. They won't have anything to sell then. They won't have anything to sell. And I'm telling you for a fact, if Carrick is not the next manager and United go on to hire a foreign manager, the media will turn on him. The media will immediately turn on him. They will create a narrative to make sure that there is bad energy, there is pressure on him, they have something to sell, they have headlines. I remember there was a weekend that United lost, I think City lost, Arsenal drew, Liverpool lost, but then headlines were about United. Champions League is being played today and tomorrow. I'm pretty sure some of the pundits will mention Manchester United. I'm very sure. If not the pundits, the commentators, they'll find a way to mention Manchester United in their comments so that they get views. So if you're taking advantage of that, to me, doesn't make sense. Neville wasn't a good manager, but he's the one usually bashing United managers, except Ole. Yeah. Same thing. They know that the United fan base right now is very divided. They know there is a lot of toxicity when it comes to the fan base. Guys are arguing over Carrick and Amorim. Guys are arguing over Ugarte. Guys are arguing over Kobe Mainu. Guys are arguing over Sheshko. They're arguing right now. The next debate, actually the current debate right now, is Ahmad and Bumo, who should be starting at right wing. The Cunha debates have already surfaced. So United fans, I said it's Manchester divided. It's not Manchester United. Fans are arguing over everything. You try to make a point, instead of guys actually having a good discussion, it becomes toxic. Immediately you look at your comments, ni matusi, it's all abuse. From even people who you don't know, or people who have just watched or read your comment or read your post for the first time. And the media know that just post something negative. The Athletic did a piece about XG. Because there wasn't anything to report about United for 10 days, they did a post about XG. Then I now started asking myself, how come you are not posting XG stats to compare Amorim and Eric Ten Hag? Now you are doing a whole article about XG to compare Carrick, Amorim, and the rest. When Ole Gunnar was here, XG wasn't a thing. So why bringing him now? Doesn't make sense. It's just taking advantage of the toxicity. So my question is, what happens when United start performing again? What will they sell? What will they sell? Because now they can no longer talk about back-to-back games. That's gone. That debate is gone. They can no longer say finally United have won back-to-back games. That's gone. UCL, it seems that it's fading. So when United, let's say, drop out of top 4, what will be the debate? Is Carrick not good enough? What will it be? There is always something with United fans have to argue about. There is always something. The same fan base was arguing about Sheshko, that is not good enough for United. A few weeks ago, the fan base was discussing about Sheshko not being a good United striker. The fan base was saying Sheshko was a waste of money. When Sheshko came on, scored, I think, 6 goals, gave 6 GAs in 7 or 8 games, all of a sudden, why is Mbumo starting as a 9 and not Sheshko? The same fan base that was bashing Sheshko now wants him to start. Same fan base that said he's not good enough. The same fan base earlier on the year was saying Cunha is a waste, Cunha is a flop. Cunha starts performing well. Oh, he's one of the best players, one of the best signings of the summer. The last few games, he hasn't had a good game. All of a sudden, he's a flop. So it has flip-flopped From Cunha being a flop to him being the best signing to now back to a flop. There is always something United fans, they need to argue about everything. They argue about everything. When I was looking at Florian Wirtz, when he started the Premier League, he was not performing well. We started the 007 gimmicks, of course, banter. And most of the Liverpool fans were still saying, yeah, it's a new league. He'll come good. It's a new league. He'll come good. Keep be patient. Very few of them, you could see them saying, oh, they wasted money on him. Right now, it's working. Florian Wirtz is finally playing good football. Ekitike is also good. He had a dip in form a bit, but now he's back. United fans, they have to look for something to post so that they get views, so that they get impressions, they get clicks, they get subscribers, they get shares, they get retweets, reposts. So I don't know where to go from here. Honestly, I don't. I don't. Some of the comments on TikTok. Exit 16, you're saying some rumors about Greenwood coming back. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. I'll mention it because the next section is about transfers. But I want us to shut down this discussion about Scholes and Carrick. Let me see. Hamed, clear outs. Bayandia, Onana, Maguire, Casemiro, Mount, Ugarte, Malacia, Zaxi. Yeah, that's a list that has been floating around. It's yet determined whether it's going to happen, if you're honest. Some of those names might stay. Some of those names might stay. So in the end, this is what I'll say about Scholes and Carrick. Just to summarize everything I've said. First of all, both parties, when it comes to Scholes and the fans, both parties are right in their perception. It depends on which angle you're looking at. Considering United haven't been so great, winning 6 out of 8, drawing 1, losing 1, it's a good return. It is a good return. United haven't had such a run for a very long time in the Premier League. In fact, I can't remember the last time United had such a good run. Winning 6 out of 8, drawing 1, losing 1. So they are justified in saying the criticism is unwarranted. It's only 1 loss. Shouldn't expect miracles. Shouldn't expect 100% performance, 10 out of 10 every game. There are fans who are also looking at the results and saying the performances, the way they are going on, it's not sustainable. Because United, the last 4 games, it's been like close calls. You look at the West Ham game, it was almost a loss. The Everton game was almost a loss or a draw. Look at the which other game? Newcastle game, the performances were not so good versus 10 men. And it's the second time this season that United have lost to 10 men. So they are saying, as much as we want the results, we also want the performances to improve. We can't have teams bullying United. We can't have a 10-man team outrunning an 11-man team. It can't happen. So both of them, if you look at their angles, they are right. But now when you come to Paul Scholes, he has a right to say whatever he wants, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, but he has to understand he's in a place of influence. He has to understand whatever he says will be picked up by the media, will be picked up by the fans. They will run with it. They will interpret it however they want. He has access to Carrick. Paul Scholes has access to the players. He has access to Carrington. He has access to Old Trafford. He can go to them directly and give his views. He can't go to Carrick and say, come on, bruv, the performances have not been great. He can go to a player like Licha and tell him, bro, you need to improve. He can go to any other player he wants to. He can, in fact, invite them over to his house He can go to their houses. He can call them out for a drink. He can do that. Do it behind closed doors, because at the end of the day, Paul Scholes is in an influential position. Whatever he says will be misinterpreted, will be picked up by the media, and it will become big news. If it's attention seeking, this is the wrong way to seek attention. There is another way that he can get what he wants. If Paul Scholes still does his podcasts without being negative, he will still get views. He's Paul Scholes. He's one of the greatest players, the biggest players that has ever played for United. He's a United legend. If it's looking for content, negative content is not good. There are other ways to do it. So, in my view, these ex-players need to be careful what they say. They have a right to say whatever they want, but they need to be very careful. And if it's criticizing, if it's correcting, let them do it offline. Let them do it behind closed doors. I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they chat. They have a WhatsApp group. They contact each other. Let them do it there. Right now at United, we don't need negativity, bad vibes. United right now, especially the fans, are very emotionally fragile. Very, very emotionally fragile. If something good happens, they're hyper. They're up there, feeling nice. The emotions are very high. Guys are feeling nice. When one bad thing happens, it's all gloom and doom. It's all gloom and doom. So, yeah, it's to me, it's not right. They can do whatever they want with their social media accounts, but they need to understand they have a responsibility. They have a very huge responsibility. Now, I wanted us to have a chat about the transfers and also go to the just chatting session. And I've read a couple of comments here regarding transfers. For example, rumors about Greenwood coming back. There were rumors sometime last week and also over the weekend that he's open to coming back, despite what happened, despite the SA reports. And I need to be careful about this. I need to be careful about saying this. In the world of football, in the world of sports, in the world of influence, where someone has influence, whether it's an artist, an athlete, a politician, people tend to associate every part of their lives with their main role, the main thing they are known for. So Greenwood coming back in football terms, it's not a bad move because he's one of the best players in France, if not Europe. He's scoring goals. He's among the top scorers in that league. He's among the top scorers in Europe. He's performing well, and he's a Carrington graduate. We thought that he would be the next big thing. When we were looking at Greenwood play under Ole, we saw a Van Persie region. He can shoot with his right, with his left. He has pace. He could dribble. He could do everything. So we thought that he will be the United's next big player. But what happened. And it happened outside football. And as I said, when you're in that position of influence, people tend to merge everything you do with the main thing they know you for. So him being a footballer and what he did off the pitch, people will immediately associate it with football. So that's why a lot of United fans will say, no, we don't want him back. We don't want him back. And the strangest thing about this Greenwood situation is he's still with the lady. They have kids together. They are still living together. And life moved on. They moved on from it. But United fans are still remembering what happened. They haven't moved on. And it becomes a much bigger issue. Nowadays, it's all about fairness, about political correctness, about advocating for certain things not to happen. I don't condone violence of any sort. I don't condone violence of any sort. Whether it's man to woman, woman to man, I don't. Whether it's country to country, I don't. And having an influential figure, having that on his back, having that stamp on his forehead, it's not a good show. Athletes, artists, politicians are used as examples in society. So when you have that over your head, it's difficult to run away from it. So as I said, in football sense, Greenwood coming back to United, it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad move. But now, when it comes to life in general, someone of influence having such a dark cloud over their head, it's very difficult to look past it, because we will always merge their life, the life they have outside football, outside what we know them for, with what we know them for. We will always merge those two. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. There are guys who are saying, I'm among them. I'm among the guys who are saying, whatever happened off the pitch, let it stay off the pitch. If we are strictly talking about football, let's talk about football. And then there are guys who are like, no, we have to merge the two. Oh, my internet is disconnected. Oh, it's back. I think I was disconnected a bit. So there are guys who are, as I've said, as long as you have a dark cloud over your head, as long as you have that red in your ledger, they don't want to associate with you. And it's common in human beings. It happens. Even in our society, in our neighborhoods. When someone has done something wrong, we tend not to associate with them. It's understandable. But for me, if I was the one making that decision, I would say, for the sake of sanity, for the sake of Greenwood sanity, for the sake of United sanity, please don't come back. Don't come back. As long as you have that dark cloud over your head, Greenwood, please don't make that move. But if it's strictly football, if you're only looking at your football skills, your football output, what you can do for the club in terms of on the pitch, fine, you come. But the cloud is over your head. It won't be beautiful. It will be ugly. It will be ugly. So yeah. Strictly speaking, if it's all about football, move. But the cloud is over your head. So tough luck. Tough luck. I don't want to see the United fan base being toxic again. Fans fighting again. No. For his sake, for United's sake, for also the victims that have gone through the same thing, I don't think it's ideal. I don't think it's ideal to have Greenwood move back the club. No. We should move past that now. We should move past that. Yeah. So United have a couple of scouts today and this week, having a look at a couple of players. Among them is Young Diamonde. Young Diamonde is a left winger who plays for Leipzig. And he has been attracting interest, not only from United, but other clubs as well. And this is a player that Christopher Vivell knows well, because he scouted him, he's looked at him, he's the sort of profile that Christopher Vivell usually likes to sign. He's young, he's energetic, he can press, he can run with the ball, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can score. And we know that left wing is not good yet. With Cunha there, Cunha is not really a left winger, if we are honest. Cunha is not really a left winger. Cunha is a number 10, or give him a free role. So having a left winger as an option, it's good. It's good. And then Diamonde coming in, there's also competition for places. We are not yet sure whether Dogu coming back. I saw a couple of videos of him training on the grass with a personal trainer. We are not sure whether when Dogu comes back, he will be a left winger or a left back. United also need a left back. So United have sent scouts to have a look at him. Of course, they've scouted him a lot. And I wouldn't mind having Diamonde as an option. I've seen a couple of fans being reserved because of AFCON, but I would say now, still have him. AFCON are shifting to 4 years instead of 2. And it's good to have such an option. United need a good squad. We as fans, we tend to focus so much on the starting 11 such that we forget we still need a good reserve team, a good sub. So, for example, if Cunha starts on the bench, Diamonde starts as part of the 11. Cunha coming off the bench is also a good option. We saw what he can do off the bench when Dogu was playing. Sheshko coming off the bench was also a good option. United will also be in multiple competitions. They will be in FA Cup, they will be in Carabao Cup, as well as Champions League if they make it. So having a good squad is good, because now if United are playing on a weekend, they are playing on a midweek, then a weekend, they need to rotate players. So when we are discussing about targets, let's not only think about the starting 11. Right now, the priority should be starting 11, yes. But it's not an abomination to have good players sitting on the bench. That's why I keep saying the star boy, Kobe Mainu, it's not a sin for him. It's not a bad thing for him to sit on the bench. If United go and sign good midfielders, they sign a good CM and a good CDM, it's not bad for Kobe to sit on the bench. He will play some games, if not all. If United sign another number 10 and ask Bruno to sit on the bench 2 or 3 games, it's not a bad thing. Still a good squad option. He can come on and still perform. The focus is so much. As fans, we are focusing so much on the starting 11. So Yandy Amonde, for me, it's a very good option. United need a left winger. The right wing is sorted a bit. We have options. There is Mbumo, there is Ahmad, there's Shialesi. We have a couple of options that can play on that wing. But the left wing, looking from left back all the way up, United need options. Luke Shaw is aging. His legs are gone. He can't run up and down the pitch. Dogu can do that. But we've seen what happens when Dogu gets an injury. Not looking good. They need a left winger, someone who can drift wide and dribble, put in a cross, or even cut in and score. Cunha tends to cut in most of the time. He likes to roam. There are a couple of times in those last 8 games when he's playing, especially the games he started, you find that he completely vacates the left wing. He's drifting towards the ball. And then he ends up clashing with Bruno. So probably he will continue growing and understanding how he can play with the others. But if United have a left winger like Ahmad, someone who can take on players wide, cut in, shoot, or cross, or create chances from a wide area on that left wing, I wouldn't mind. United also have scouts going to the Real Madrid Castilla, the academy. They are scouting for young players. We know that United have recruited, can I remember his name? Ian Broomfield from Man City to head the recruitment of under 21s and also academy players. So if United are looking at the Real Madrid academy for stars, it's also good. As much as United need first team signings, they also need academy players that can become first team players. For example, Okeyoro was already a first team player. Eden Heaven is a good example that can be signed from the under 21s and immediately becomes a squad option for the starting 11. So the summer transfer window is massive. There are also other names that are popping up in midfield. The list is so long. The list is very, very long. Why did I close? Why did I close the... TikTok wants to log me out. I closed the notes on midfield targets. Sorry. Targets. Where is it? There you go. So the midfield targets, the list is growing day by day. So recently, someone like Tonali was added. Then there is, of course, Sangare. There is Guimaraes. Those are the names that are being added to the list. So it's not yet solidified. Those are just options. Part of the comment I read from Hamed is that Elliot Anderson prefers a move to Man City. That has been a well-known secret for weeks. So it's a wait and see situation. It's a wait and see situation because if United make the UCL, they might be able to attract Elliot Anderson. They might because Elliot Anderson wants to play Champions League, and he might look at the deal and say, "Oh, at United, I can actually start all games. At City, I might actually be sitting on the bench. So, which one do I pick? At United, I can be the face of the team in that midfield. At City, I might be starting on the bench. So let me pick United." Until he holds up that shirt, I usually say every report should be treated as a rumor until either the big wigs say it's a done deal, because on Twitter I'm not seeing anything from the big wigs like Ornstein, Fabrizio. I'm not seeing those reports. Or until he holds up that shirt, because they can also say, here we go. They can also say done deal, and then it falls through. He changes his mind. It has happened before. A player is confirmed is going to a certain club. For example, James was to go to Leeds. Then he ended up at United. It can happen. Yeah. So the profiles United need to look for in midfield need to have a right mix, because some of the midfielders that are being mentioned, they are more of number 8, box to box, deep lying playmakers. And most of the names there are not even defensive midfielders. United need to have very good defensive midfielders lined up. During the UKG debate, we mentioned that Ugarte is actually one of the best CDMs in Europe. His statistics are elite if you look at his stats, his profile. So now if you pair him with someone like Elliot Anderson or Baleba, who are workhorses, it might work. But if United want to play Kobe in that midfield, then they need to get a very good CDM that can actually play with him. So it's... I wanted to have to make a video about it, like which midfield profiles United go for. Because I'm seeing a lot of guys being excited about names, but they don't really understand the profiles of the player. Because Elliot Anderson, Wharton, Baleba, they are like Kobe. They are deep-lying playmakers with an attribute of being good defensively, being good athletically. You look at Elliot Anderson, he's actually having same heat maps as Bruno. He's all over the pitch. He's creating chances from deep. He's influencing play. He can speed up play. He can slow down. He scores goals. He creates chances. So if you bring him and ask him to be a CDM, then that will be misprofiling. It's the similar case you are seeing with Ugarte. The way Ugarte is being asked to play is not really as a CDM. It's like being asked to play a hybrid of a 6 and an 8. And Ugate's passing is not so great. Ugarte is not good at ball carrying. Ugarte is not good at creating chances from deep. But Ugarte is a very good destroyer. He can bully players. He can have good tackles. He's good in interceptions. So Ugarte can do what Casemiro does. Casemiro has a bit of both, a 6 and an 8. He can do both, but Ugarte can't. So imagine if you have Ugarte who does the dirty work, and then you have someone who picks up the ball and creates chances from deep. Or United decide to go for 2 combative midfielders and allow someone like Bruno or Kobe to run the show. So that's why I keep saying I'm worried about the summer. I'm worried about the summer. Some of the names I'm seeing, United need to get the profiles right. They need to get the profiles right. It might not even be Anderson, who's the perfect fit. It might not be. It might not be. Mogidi Governor, you're saying I'm not in for Dogu as a winger, but currently he's good than Ahmad. Ooh, you think Dogu is better than Ahmad? Wow. That's a huge, huge claim. That's a very, very huge claim. A very, very huge claim. I think Ahmad is the best winger you have at United. And you've seen when Ahmad didn't start both games, how United struggled. You've seen it. Ahmad is a pressing demon. That guy presses. That guy wins the ball. He's not afraid of taking on defenders. He can't create chances. It's just that the change of formation has disrupted his groove a bit, his flow a bit. But Ogiri Gavan, I disagree with you. I'd rather have Ahmad as a winger than Dogu. Dogu, I think, is well suited for a wing back role because he has that agility and fitness, physicality to run up and down the pitch. Let's see whether he'll stick as a left winger or a left back. Diamonde Good also, Malik Fofana from Lyon. Yeah. Malik Fofana is also good. But I think he mostly plays off the right. Let me confirm. Most of the games I've watched him is, let me confirm. Or he can play both. Let me just see. Fofana. Because actually when he came on versus United in that Europa League game, he was trouble. He was trouble. So, come on, where is the profile? He prefers to play with the right foot. Yeah, I think he can play both wings. Let me just be sure. Because most of the time I've seen him playing on the right. Most of the time I've seen him is playing off the right. And he's only 20 years old. He's young. He's very, very, very young. So loading up his profile now. Oh, left wing actually. Yeah, he can play left wing. His main position is left wing. Other positions is right or left midfield. Yeah, he can also be a good option. Because I'm looking at his stats now. He's Belgian. His value right now is 20 million euros. 30 million euros, sorry. He's affordable. And I believe United were interested in him, especially after that Europa League performance. So I'll check out his profile. I'll see whether we can discuss about him tomorrow in the midweek debate. Yeah. So sorry, my bad. I thought he's a right winger, but his main position is a left winger. So Mogidi, big up on that. So it's been a good show. I've enjoyed it. Thanks for everyone. Big up for everyone who's commented, who's given their views. And yeah, let's keep it united. Let's not keep arguing over everything. Sometimes you can just tell someone, I don't agree with you, and that's the end of it. It doesn't have to be toxic, abusive. It doesn't have to be that of a toxic argument. So yeah, see you tomorrow for the midweek debate. As usual, we are usually with KC Reacts. It's been a great show. I have enjoyed it. Until tomorrow, guys, cheers and bye-bye.